Hey everybody, Outdoor Detective here. So tiny boat trip number 2. We are at French Creek State Park in Pennsylvania. Small lake called Hopewell Lake. I think it's about 23 acres maybe a little bigger. And here's our setup for today. And we're just getting started here. Now the last time I talked about the foot control, about that cable being a little bit long, but I changed the angle of my foot control by rotating the shaft of the trolling motor outward, which allowed a better angle on my foot control. Well, we're headed out here away from all the weeds, and it started raining on us again, so we're going to see how we do anyway. See how long we last out here, if the rain stops or if it continues. Fishing with my friend again. He's in his little Sea Eagle. So let's see how we do. Well, we're headed out here away from all the weeds, and it started raining on us again, so we're going to see how we do anyway. See how long we last out here, if the rain stops or if it continues. Fishing with my friend again. He's in his little Sea Eagle. So let's see how we do. So the foot control's a great idea for this, but I'm going to have to tie that up somehow, because as soon as I let it go, due to the length of it, see, it turns my foot control and moves it on me. Well, I don't know if I'd want the iPilot because of the weight. That's a lot of weight to put on this little boat.
The smallest they have is 55.
Just the unit itself, though, because of the power drive head, it's just pretty heavy. So here we are again. We're going to give one of these MEPs a try. So since it's pretty cloudy today, we're going to go with gold MEPs number 2. Give that a roll, see how we do to start out. If you can see the depth finder, we're almost 8 feet, 80 degrees out here. That's really warm. Almost 10 in the morning. And it's definitely raining pretty good on us. Yesterday's weather, no rain. Maybe around 10 a.m. this morning, which we were almost at. It gave us a 50% chance, and it's been raining since 5:30 this morning when I got up. So much for weathermen being accurate. The humidity right now is very high. Almost uncomfortably high, even though the sun is not out. It's crazy humid. Little flowers on the lily pads. Wow, a couple of things out here. Let's go hit them. 2 things jumping at the same time here. Sizable. Yeah, we're going to come right through where the one is. They're in 7 feet of water, but they're hitting the surface, and I'm not fishing the surface. Let me try a little bit different, lifting my rod tip up, fishing slightly different. See if I can keep the lure closer to the, oh, right there was, I just went right through whatever hit his wake, whatever fish was just there. And I'm not giving them what they want. Well, normally, cloudy weather, you'd think gold would be okay, but We've not been successful here, so let's try a different color. Go to silver, and then we'll go to perch. See if that makes a difference. We'll take a number 2 silver, because we're kind of small, and we're going to take out a number 2 perch. We'll use that one later. We still have copper. We haven't tried that yet either, but copper to me has a similarity to gold. Although there's been days where we caught fish with copper and not gold, so this could be one of them. Or simply we're not going to catch fish based on the sheer fact that a front came through and the fish aren't that active. Chinese batteries, as much as I want a lithium iron phosphate battery, I'm not so sure that I want to invest in one and provide China with any additional income. Not that my one little battery is going to make a difference, but oh, that made a difference. We just went from 9 feet to 6 real quick. A couple of things down there. So if you have any, I'd appreciate some input. Maybe you can let me know what they're like. I'm understanding they're probably half the weight of the battery that I have now. Oh boy, that got my attention. Yeah, I got a 29 series battery now, and that's pretty heavy, but it's a standard lead acid battery. It's got a lot of weight to it. It would certainly be nice to be able to lessen the amount of weight in a battery. See a lot of people, DIYers and off-grid people, a lot of them have it, but boy oh boy. Seen one of the RVers that's on YouTube, and that RVer has had multiple types of RVs, and they always seem to go to the Battle-Born batteries and have a bank of like 4 or 6 or 8 of them. Holy shit, that's got to be $6 to $8 grand for all them just the batteries, not counting the charge controllers and everything that goes with it. That is a tremendous amount. I'm guessing they try to run air conditioners when they're off grid or dry camping, I guess that's called, when you're self-sufficient. Can't say that I've had that ability to run my AC on battery power. And my camper's got one 12-volt deep cycle battery. Then again, I always go glamping, meaning that I go where I have full hookup. So I have water, sewer, and electric. In fact, that adventure's coming up too. You'll see a video on that one. I think that's about a week, I think. A week or so we'll be away on that one for a couple of days, do some fishing. I'll take the camper, and I'll probably bring this boat along because it's easier to maneuver and take care of with all the other equipment that I have. Pelican, so it's a single piece boat, not a molded 2-piece boat that they glue or staple together. And he did call it a Pelican, but it is not. So I don't know if I ever tried a little one-man boat, but I think even if I had the 12-footer, I'd set it up as a one-man boat. Because this thing, the way I have it, everything's within reach, right where I want it. I'm sitting up, and I have more maneuverability to cast and to catch fish than being in a kayak. Because I did think of a native kayak. I really like the Titan. I just don't like sitting down, like laying with my legs out in front of me. Even cars I won't drive like that. I need a big truck where I sit like I'm sitting in a chair. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. It should, as long as it would be equal justice, people can deal with things. It's acceptable, sort of. Now you're gonna have people of dissenting opinions, but if justice were given equally across the board, then okay. Or the news, media coverage. What happened to the old days of Walter Cronkite? And that's the news. Well, he just gave you the news, the facts. It was up to you as the viewer to formulate your own opinion. Not these talking head nitwits. Oh my God. Cuomo, Lemon, Maddow. They are so bad at the lies and the way they spin shit. Or just simply won't talk about things. Fox News over-dramatizes things. Something that's little. Jeez. Why can't they just give people real, honest facts? No spin on it. No nonsense. They just can't do it anymore. They absolutely cannot do it. I'm going on a rant here. That's not what my intent is. But since the fish don't seem to be bothering me right now, that's what's going through my head. It's pretty. Cloudy, but pretty. And I'm fishing the edge of these lily pads and I don't seem to be enticing anything. I don't seem to be having too much luck here. Because of being right-handed in the way that I cast, primarily cast, I like to fish a shoreline in a clockwise direction. Now, if I'm out in the middle of a lake and we're flinging different types of bait around, and I'm using bait casters, I fish with both hands, meaning I can cast from both sides with bait casters. So it doesn't matter then what I'm doing, but when I'm traversing a shoreline, I like to fish right-handed. I'm a little more accurate right-handed than I am left-handed. I think the New York video, you can see me fishing from both sides with a bait caster. So if you haven't, go back and check that one out. In fact, that's the one I think I mentioned, the perfect lure, which is actually these MEPS lures. They just caught everything. I fished with them all week. Now, occasionally I fished with a spinnerbait, but primarily fished with these MEPS lures, 2s, 3s, 4s, and 5s, and doubled the catch count of all the other guys I was fishing with. One night outing, I did fantastic. Between the pike, smallmouth, largemouth, did really well. Had 19 fish in about 2.5 hours. And wanted to go back over the rocky terrain that we were going over, and the partner I was fishing with didn't want to do it. There was some rock, some gravel, a few weeds here and there, but it wasn't enough to get you hung up. You could fish between them. Had a fun night that night. Caught a lot of fish. It's now, today's Friday, August 20th. And we're making some plans to try to get into Canada. Those of us that are going, we do have our vaccinations, but the rules that Canada has, that 72-hour rule, I don't know how we can get tested and be found negative or positive or whatever we are and receive that document that we need to upload into that Canada travel app within the 72 hours of that negative test result. So we're still researching it to see if we can do it. I'd like to go up there and hit a lake that we've been at several times. We usually do pretty good. Weather's beautiful. Nowhere near as humid, nowhere near as hot. We'll see. The world's just nuts right now. Absolutely nuts. Politicians, I'm amazed that they're above the law. Nobody else is, but politicians, Jesus mighty. More than half of them belong in jail. Lies, worried about themselves, the power. It's nothing but money and power for them. It's not about the people. Never is. Democrat or Republican. But these radical nitwits on the left, holy shit. CRT, give me a break. What a bunch of nonsense. All these woke people. They're not asking the people that are footing the bill, the middle class that's working their ass off to make ends meet, that they keep taking and taking and taking from. Not the nitwits sitting at home with their feet up collecting free money. Or nitwits like Jack Dorsey, Mark Zuckerberg. Piece of shit. Them guys belong in jail. I don't care how much money they have. Taliban's on Twitter, but Trump isn't. Now, not one side or the other. I believe that Trump said some dumb shit on Twitter, but I find it difficult to believe that we can allow the Taliban to be on Twitter and not a previous president of the United States. Something is seriously wrong here. DOJ does nothing about it. Comey belongs in jail. Why isn't he in jail? Comey, Strzok, McCabe, all them idiots? You got to be kidding me. Doesn't seem like Durham's got anywhere. I don't know what he's doing. All the phones, cell phones from all those individuals that were working the FBI, they grabbed them and seized them. Every phone was wiped. Now, how does that happen? No, I don't know. That's the response I got. How did this happen? Oh, that's destruction of evidence. And it wasn't their phone. Government property. Why aren't those individuals in jail? Oh, that was a good hit there. Nice little bass. It was a long time coming. Wowee. There we go. Right where we wanted. Make up for the... I did find that with this little boat, you can purchase a cover from the company, which I did, and then left it sit out at the back of my house with the cover on it so it was not in direct sunlight. I even waterproofed the cover that I purchased with something called Camp Dry, and it did absolutely nothing. It completely filled up the boat after rain. I didn't know it until I went to use it, that the boat was completely full of rain, and it even filled up the pontoons, and I'm not sure how the water got in there since I sealed all the holes and everything that are in the boat. So there's something that I missed to get that much water down inside the... So one would think there would have been something in there right around that tree, but we weren't so lucky. Throwing in here this little pocket. There we go. Ah, no kidding. Little chain pickerel. Not what I expected this morning. Nice little guy, huh? Got two of his. So the guy's all right. Oh, oh, he had a minnow. He was eating a minnow. Look, can you see it on the surface right there? Let's see if he comes back and gets it. He just spit that up.
That's a bass. I saw a bass. He saw someone under the dock.
Great big sign up there. No swimming, no fishing off the dock. Here we are. Can you read for yourself?